Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
And I'm Johnny Five.
And I'm Murray the Bellhop.
Wait, who are you?
Murray the Bellhop.
Oh, okay. Why are you Johnny Five tonight?
Because in the D23 Expo, if you add the 2 from 20 and the 3 from 3, you get 5.
What?
Whoa.
And you know what? I don't think we can accept that. Because I am 90% sure if we were to go back 2 years to when we did this episode last
Specifically 2?
time. Probably.
Not 1 year when we did this episode last time?
No, D23 was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
They only happen
And-
every 2 years?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It feels so much shorter than
And
that.
we're off to a really good start.
Wow.
So
if I'm looking at your cup and it's the ultimate Disney fan event, which is in itself 5 words, and event has 5 letters.
I will accept that,
That's
but
a
I'm pretty
double.
sure you used 23 2 years ago.
I've used 23, like episode 23, I think I used that, or... Like,
Yeah, so I think, are
It's
we
the
all
23rd
agreed
of
that
the
he
month.
can never use that one ever
All
again?
right, whatever.
And if he does, what happens?
Well, that was a solid
I
minute
think
on that
we need-
subject.
We need something...
Annihilation.
Annihilation? No, I don't think we should be that mean.
That's our fans, everyone. Thank you very much. Good night.
And the show is over because Johnny Five was annihilated.
Wow.
Wow. So the reason we have Murray here tonight is he spent most of the weekend with me, but not really with me because we were both going separate ways at the D23 Expo, and Roger was there, and that was it. And here tonight. We had 8 people there this year, though, and it was awesome because we were able
8?
to
I didn't
divide
even
and
realize
conquer. Yeah, you should look at this website called DAPs Magic. And we actually
just work
listed.
here, that's all.
We actually listed every one of us that were there. It was really cool.
I did
Twitter
meet
handles.
2 new
I read
staff members that I didn't know existed
Yeah,
before,
you
so-
met new staff
I read the
members.
website.
Who were your
And you didn't even go.
Yeah.
and who did you meet?
I met Caitlin.
Uh-huh.
Well, I didn't exactly meet him, but it was through the website, like right before. But
Jonathan?
It was Jonathan.
Yeah, he's awesome. Otherwise known as Jay Squivel.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's Quivel? I don't know, how do you say
Not-
I think it's Jay Skivel.
it? Jay Skivel?
Yeah, my neighbor, basically.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's his neighbor, basically.
Basically.
So, D23
Yeah.
was 3 days of Disney craziness and mayhem and no Muppets. Well, there were Muppets in one segment, but they weren't walking around on the floor, except for that one guy with the costume, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about D23. It's going to be crazy because that's what D23 is, and we'll
It's
start...
a place for crazy.
It
was crazy.
Yes.
Let's start with the costumes. Costumes
Okay.
were crazy. What was your favorite costume? Did you look at the costumes on my... Okay.
You
Wait.
said
Let
the
me
website?
let me see if I can do like an I Spy bingo card.
Let's guess.
So was there a Pixar character represented? Like I'm
Yes,
gonna go.
actually there was. In the costume contest,
Okay.
there was one particular Pixar that was... There's 2?
Was it-
Oh, yeah, you're right, 2.
Was it Carl from Up?
No.
Okay, because that's a very easy
did
one.
not see that one.
That's a low quality. Like you're not trying too hard. I
Think-
don't want.
think
I don't
a
want
little
clues.
bit crazier.
Was it Bug's Life? Was there a Bug's Life there?
No.
No. I don't. Oh, well, Merida from Brave, but that's just because.
Oh, yeah,
you have a
Merida
right
was
hand
there.
behind the camera.
There was several Meridas.
Yeah. Like
Merida's
yeah.
your favorite?
No, that's not.
How about Darla? Would Darla be your favorite?
Darla?
Darla was there, and
That's
she...
epic. That's a.
My favorite
yeah.
part about the Darla costume wasn't the costume. It was how crazy the girl looked with her eyes. Like, she was doing this crazy eye thing, and it totally pictured... Oh, yeah, she had the bag with the fish in it, too. Thank you.
Fishy,
They
fishy,
can
fishy.
hear you because this microphone is so sensitive that you whisper across the room, and they're like, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We could do a whispering show. Halloween. That's what we're going to do. So, Murray, what was your favorite?
My favorite were the
What
dancing. Well, because there's a group of them. The dancing ghosts from
Yes.
Haunted
Which
Mansion.
happens
Saw
to
that
be
picture.
another DAPS team member that you didn't know existed. Right?
Apparently.
Did you
yeah.
not know this?
Not
No.
only is it an expo.
So
but
if
it's
you
an
look at our
expose.
pictures, there's always the 4 dancing ghosts, and it's
Yeah.
girl, guy, I think, or guy, girl, I don't know. Guy, girl, yeah. The girl on the left
That's
of
how they
all the
measure
pictures
earthquakes, right?
writes on Geeks Corner. Jessica.
Didn't
She's awesome. Shout out to Jessica. She's going to write about her experience being a ghost for a day and
I
having
took
people...
your picture with my phone to post it on
Well,
the
I'm-
website, which is probably very ironic to have done. But
Funny story about this, actually, though. I knew they were coming as ghosts, and I didn't recognize her. So I'm sitting there taking pictures. This has been known to happen before with people in costume. And I'm sitting there taking pictures. I take a picture of one of my friends with them, start walking away, and they shout my name. And I'm like, oh, that's you.
That's
Oops.
awesome. That's Mr. Daps.
That's, it's such a good costume. Didn't even recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like if I ever go to a Star Trek convention, have I told you I want to be dressed as a Horta?
Do it.
Just giant foil blanket.
And I think those were my favorite costumes also, were the dancing ghosts.
Were there any Star Wars costumes, which is now owned by
There
Disney?
were?
There were a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw lots of
Padme.
Padme and
Really?
Anakin, which surprised me because I would have expected more traditional Star Wars.
Was there
Or
a
a
Jar Jar
stormtrooper
costume?
or something.
I saw a couple stormtroopers.
There was a Queen Amidala.
Yeah, but
Boba
even
Fett, I
that's
think
like
one or two.
new trilogy versus old trilogy.
Yeah.
He said there was a Queen Amidala. Could you hear that through the? Okay, so we're good. This is what happens when we film late at night. Remember when we filmed in the middle of the night?
At like midnight?
Yeah, we
Geeks Corner
started
after
at
dark?
midnight.
It's always after dark.
So on Friday, we're moving along now. You watched the Animation Studios presentation.
I did.
I was watching the Mystic Manor presentation at the same time. But we'll
Yes.
go first with Animation Studios.
Comments.
Did
Who
anything?
wins?
That's not fair. I did.
I actually think you did.
I
I've
think I
been
did
watching
too,
a little bit
'cause
of that presentation.
just from
and that was a
reading
good one.
most of the coverage, there wasn't a whole lot that I hadn't heard of before.
No.
What was that iconic thing for you?
The iconic. Well, there's two iconic things I could say real quick. One was the surprise announcement,
give
which
you
was
that.
Zootopia, is a movie that's going to be coming out from Disney 2016, I believe. And so nobody had really heard about that, and that was brand new.
Is that movie gonna make my foot hurt?
Moving right along.
That's an Autopia joke. Every time I go on the Autopia, my leg locks up.
Oh, I didn't. I now know that.
It was
Is the other part have to do with the song from the 60s, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, that was my
Was
guess. Because
Tom
that part
Hiddleston.
did seem
Yeah.
cool. Tell what happened.
So Tom Hiddleston is voicing a cabin boy in the new Tinkerbell, one of the new Tinkerbell movies. So they had him come out on stage, and he was talking about his history with Disney and saying that he auditioned for something or started off having to sing some kind of Broadway song to get into class or something else. And so most people chose Broadway hits, but he chose the bare necessities from Jungle Book. So that was his sort of claim to like Disney history. But everybody started saying and chanting like, "Sing the song, sing it!" And finally, peer pressure caved in. And he's saying the bare necessities.
And he is no Phil Harris.
He's not, but he's still a good singer. He did.
I actually can imagine that. What did you think of Disney Planes?
I
from what
liked it.
You got to see it?
I did get to see.
You
Disney
did get to
Planes.
see it, and you liked it.
Yeah,
whole movie?
I liked it. The whole
What
movie.
would you
Nice.
what would you rate it
Too.
comparatively to?
I would, in my scale of Pixar movies, because it's.
It's not a Pixar movie.
I know it's not a Pixar movie, but it comes from the world, and I've got to compare it to those. I would compare it to Ratatouille, which is kind of in the middle for me. So I know I'm the odd one.
Side note,
Middle.
let's pause for a second. I will contend that if you ever want to start a fight amongst your Disney friends, just sit down with a piece of paper and say, we're going to rank the Pixar films
Oh, yeah.
from best to worst.
Yeah.
And
True
go.
story.
That
Yeah.
will cause a fight every time.
Really?
I will. Let me. Can I ask a variant on that question though?
You do it.
Where would you rank it in comparison to like Chicken Little and Bolt, which I believe
Oh,
were
it's better than those.
Disney.
Really?
I think it
Bolt?
was.
Okay.
I like Bolt a lot, but I think this was a little bit better.
Do you agree?
I agree.
It was,
Roger
yeah.
Rabbit agrees. I'm shocked.
See, now I'm more interested in seeing planes because when
I
I see
am
the
too.
advertisements,
That's
it just
two
looks
really
like
good endorsements.
Oh, yeah.
a 3D version
Yeah.
of Cars 2.
Kind
And I really liked Ratatouille.
I do like Ratatouille, but it's in the middle of the Pixar movies for me.
We're
I
gonna do
know.
that ranking
This
thing at
is-
some point. I just want to see where everyone's
We're gonna
It's-
do a whole show ranking Pixar.
And I'll probably never come
the
back.
three of us.
after
If you
that.
want that, we need one comment.
my
and we'll
one
do
final
it.
Geeks Corner
Yeah.
episode.
One comment from someone who isn't in this.
Not on
room.
our team. And then you saw some pavilions at day 2. What do you think?
Civilians.
I did.
Pavilions.
Oh.
It's all a blur. I'm trying to think.
They can tell
some of
because
the
they've got the microphone.
pavilions I saw. Imagineering. I know I went to.
That one was awesome. I saw
that
it on
was awesome.
Sunday. I
Yeah.
went back twice.
Yeah, that was. I think that was my favorite pavilion.
Hatbox Ghost.
Wasn't. Was it clearly labeled or?
Well, there was
I
a
don't think it was,
hatbox
but
sitting
yeah, I
at his
know,
feet.
It
So I
pretty much was, but it's. but
the
I
funny
think
part
they're
about
trying
that is I was geeking out about that earlier, and then I went back with Caitlin. I'm like, this is the coolest part. And we walked in, and she totally freaked out.
Nice.
She was scared of it.
Can I just say
It's a little
that
freaky.
like I was trying to find.
It did breathe. I don't know why a ghost was breathing,
Yeah,
but
I don't
creepy.
either.
I was
but it
trying to
looked
look
cool.
at the coverage of the D23, and I couldn't get it to load. So I haven't seen the Hatbox Ghost. But what terrifies me the most.
It was on Instagram.
Okay, I will find it. What terrifies me the most about the concept of a Hatbox Ghost is all three of us are sitting here in hats, and that means that there is a haunted box for those hats somewhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That is like that's
It also means there's magic hats.
actually I've seen Lidsville, so I do that one. If anyone knows of Lidsville, comment right now.
Please,
Pause the
because I have
video
no
and
idea
comment.
what this is. Yeah.
You know HR Puffin stuff?
Uh-huh.
Same company made a video, made
Uh-huh.
a show about living hats.
Okay.
It was
There's
strange.
Yeah.
There's also a cartoon, but
Really?
Pam's gonna kill you.
Sorry, Pam. Don't, annihilation.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump back to Mystic Manor. It was really cool because they went from basically opening concept to what it is today, and how they decided on everything, and how Danny Elfman actually came into the process. That's on our video. You can check it out. It's on. We have a full playlist for just D23, and it really was cool because I kind of felt like the Imagineers just let go a little bit and maybe said more than you'd normally get, and told how some things are done. And normally you don't get that stuff, so that part was cool. And unfortunately, we lost the last 4.5 minutes because the battery died. But they were rushing through at the end because they ran out of time. So
So did
you
your
only missed a lot that was crammed into really little time. But it's definitely worth checking out for the video. Day 2, what'd you start with?
I started off with going to
Broadcasts, huh?
broadcasts from Buena Vista Street, which was a very surprisingly delightful panel. I think everybody else was, maybe not quite everybody else, but most people were in the other movie presentation that day.
The
And I
live
decided
action
to skip
thing.
it, the live action, and I went there, and
Which, from what I'm hearing, the highlight was Angelina Jolie coming out in the Maleficent portion of the presentation.
I don't
But
know
continue
why,
with yours.
but you said Maleficent, and the next thought in my head was Falcon. It's like, what's the Maleficent Falcon?
that's
What made
the
the
sequel
Kessel
to
Run
that
in?
one. Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway, continue on. I'm sorry.
This panel was great because it was a live performance of something that they have just playing in the background in a shop at California Adventure, and they had some pretty good and somewhat famous voice actors, just somewhat famous for the things that they do, and that was really surprising. They did about 20 to 30 minutes of this performance, and then got to talk about what they did, how they got involved, and it surprised me. And I even got to talk to them afterwards, and they were really nice and very funny and very talented. Very talented.
Helps that way.
Yeah.
Which is strange for voice actors.
Then you went to the archives,
Yes.
and about that time, I was showing up and going to get in line for the Disney Legends, but you were checking out the archives. What was your top 2 things?
Top 2 things of the archives. I think the Oz area and Mary Poppins area.
Okay.
And yeah.
And what about the Mary Poppins do you like the best?
Mary Poppins, I like the paintings. The paintings
Oh,
that were
yeah.
from the introduction, the
Opening
opening
sequence.
credits.
Was that Harrison Allen Shaw that painted those? I don't remember.
Yes. I
That's what's
believe so.
popping into my head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peter Allen Shaw.
Peter
Peter
Allen
Allen
Shaw.
Shaw.
That's his son. I was
Is he
talking
related
about.
to
wasn't
George Bernard Shaw? That's a lot of like 2 names Shaw going on.
So then you went to the Once Upon a Time panel, and was that while I was at the Disney,
Disney
Legends?
Legends.
Disney Legends, I'll hop in real quick. I really liked it. It's one of those things that's not the flashiest thing in the world, but it's really fun to watch these people accept these awards and see what it means to them. I loved seeing how much Billy Crystal and John Goodman really took this seriously, and really, I think John Goodman said it was the most treasured award he's ever won, and it really was cool to see how much it meant to him. It was also really a moment that's sticking out just as I'm speaking right now, was hearing John Lasseter and Bob Iger talk about Steve Jobs, and just hearing the emotion. Like, Bob Iger's a pretty straightforward guy, and I feel like he's always controlled, and he was still controlled, but you could hear emotion in his voice in a way that I haven't heard before, and I thought that was really cool. And he was just talking about when he got offered the job of being CEO of Disney, the first person he called, well, after his family, was Steve Jobs. And I just didn't realize how close they actually were, And John Lasseter the same way. He was very choked up talking about Steve Jobs. And go ahead. You have a question or an answer?
When we did that tour of the Disney studios, that's the Disney legends were all on the walls there, the handprints, right?
Yeah.
So do they get to do those handprints?
Yes, they actually did. I believe either right before or right after.
Okay.
Backstage, there's photos up of them putting their hands
in the carbonite or whatever they make.
Yeah, carbonite. That's a good way. Talk about the Once Upon a Time panel.
Once Upon a Time panel was a lot of fun. I'm a fan of the show. Watch it regularly, and so it was great to have the writers, creators of the show just talk about it. And they did a preview of Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, and I'm very excited about that. And it'll be a condensed run, just I think 13 episodes.
And talk about there was like a crossover between Wonderland and
Storybrooke. Is the
I thought there was something like with Aladdin or something too.
Oh,
Marvel,
Agrabah. So
yeah, isn't there a crossover between?
there is.
Okay.
There's going to be a few characters from Agrabah in Wonderland, and so I think they're. I know. I
probably
don't.
hanging out with the caterpillar, or like I'm
They could
trying. I'm
be.
trying to think
Oh, I
of
know.
which characters would hang out with like Jafar.
Yeah,
I don't.
but one of the
Sultan
main.
Raja. I don't.
Crazy parrot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice falls in love with a genie from Agrabah, not like the Aladdin genie. It's just another genie. Named
We got a
Cyrus.
winner going
Cyrus,
here.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
okay.
move right
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice, yeah, that goes to Wonderland, falls in
Genie
love with
from
the genie that's in Wonderland, and his name is Cyrus. But he,
Can she?
well, it's been in previews.
It's on the internet.
Yeah,
it's not
on
a
the internet.
spoiler.
It's
They
not a big
said
spoiler.
it in public.
Does he live in her phone and can help her set reminders and stuff? Like,
It's really serious.
Cyrus.
Yeah.
Can,
So I think the highlight for pretty much everybody for the
Call me
weekend
Alice Cyrus.
was the
Alice,
concert on
Richard.
Saturday night
Sorry.
with
Yes.
Richard Sherman
Yes.
and Alan Menken. And I
Sherman.
was editing things, so I wasn't at it, but I got to edit the concert, so I got to watch it vicariously through you and Caitlin and Jonathan, and I think Tracy went too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was, you guys waited, well, I know Caitlin waited 10 hours that day to be able to
Oh.
I
go
look
to
shocked, but
her
I've
two
done
things.
that.
What was the number one moment for you with Richard Sherman, and what was the number one moment for you with Alan Menken? And then major hat tip to Tim O'Day, because I think he did a fantastic
Yes,
job
he did.
keeping things moving,
Yes.
making them moving, making a connection with the audience, and great MC. But go.
I think overall, just Richard Sherman, he kept calling everybody in the audience family, and really wanted to treat it as like a, family gathering. And he's just at the piano and he's doing songs and wanting people to sing along, and so just that friendly demeanor.
And Alan Menken?
Alan Menken, man, that guy has a voice, and I didn't know that. So,
And endurance. Like,
Yeah.
he just kept throwing those songs up there.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
he made a joke about it at one point,
Yeah.
too. We got a lot of songs to cover.
I
Yeah.
think I have a CD of Little Shop of Horrors, which isn't Disney, but it is Alan Menken, and I believe.
Right before Little Mermaid, I believe.
I think so, well, Part of Your World and Somewhere That's Green. Check those next to each other. But at the end of the CD, there's 5 songs that didn't make it into any Broadway production, so it's him singing all the parts. So there's duets with himself. It's so much fun to
Because
listen
we've
to.
never done that before.
It's him playing 2 different characters interacting, and to hear him sing a love song with himself is something that you should just clear your day for.
That should happen all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Mr. Menken, love it. We'll have tomorrow is what I'm thinking.
I love,
Yes.
too, with Alan Menken, how honest he was. Like, he
Yeah.
flat out said nobody liked Newsies when it
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
He's like, that one bombed. Didn't
Yeah.
go anywhere. And then he still did music from Home on the Range. Like, because it was
Yeah.
a song that was important to him, and he had an emotional connection, too, because of 9/11, and he performed it, and I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, I
we-
do like those songs, so I'm glad
They
that
were
he did
decent
that, so.
songs. I don't
I-
know that they're his best, but they were
I
decent
wanted-
songs.
I want to do a quick shout out even to some things that he didn't do. There's a song from an attraction at Tokyo Disney Sea that he wrote for, and he didn't perform, and I really wish he had, because it's a wonderful song, and so it's one of those, I think,
So we'll
I
set
don't
up
know
a
if-
keyboard for you here,
Yeah,
Mr. Menken,
if
and
you wanna
can
come.
perform it live.
Compass
on
of Your
Geeks
Heart.
Couple of facts for me to check. Did he write that song that was in Captain America? Was
Yeah,
that-
he
Yep.
performed that
And he
there too.
performed
Yeah,
it? Cool.
he did that
Um,
one. Yeah.
I was hoping.
And
'cause-
of course, I think a highlight for everybody was hearing Richard Sherman sing "Feed the Birds" because that's just got an amazing connection. And then I loved how they ended it with a whole new world and "It's a Small World After All" together, and like it was a perfect ending and a great evening.
Now I wanna
And
go
with
and
that,
watch it.
we're gonna move on to day
Let's
number
just end the episode so I can watch all this stuff.
3. Yeah, it's a great video. We're still
Okay.
editing it and putting it up for the rest of our lives. And we do have a page on the archives that has everything that we're posting from.
Yes.
This will be on there too. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Hello. People
Hey,
watching
we're
on the archives.
page that goes into everything we're covering with some photos of the
There's a
team
lot.
and videos and you name it. I need a picture of you, Roger. I don't have any yet. Way to throw you on the bus. So starting off, your day started with working with Walt, then the DNA of innovation. So a lot of Imagineering
Sunday,
stuff
yep.
for you for
Yes.
Sunday. What was the highlight for you on Sunday with Imagineering?
With the Imagineering panels, I think it was working with Walt, that
Okay.
very first one. It was Exitencio, Marty Sklar, Alice Davis, and Bob Gurr.
Good group.
And yeah, very wonderful group to be talking about their experience with Walt. And I'll do
Walt Disney?
Walt Disney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just wanted to clarify.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't
Walt,
Mr.
the
Knott.
guy,
case people were
not the guy that
confused.
lives down the street.
Not
that
Mr.
Walt,
Knott.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
but-
Okay.
Walter
but
Knott,
things
Knott's
like
Berry Farm.
Really? He was Walt too?
Mhm.
We don't cover Knott's Berry Farm. Why would it?
Yet.
we might
Is
soon,
there a
yeah.
Walt in charge of Universal Studios?
No.
Walter
So,
SeaWorld?
so you
Anyway,
liked
so-
go
yeah.
ahead.
Bob Gurr pointed out that there's a sort of subtle way that Walt Disney would let people know that he was approaching their office or cubicle or whatever, and it was by doing a small cough. And then he also pointed out that, and this is a little promotion maybe even for Saving Mr. Banks, that they even show that in that movie, that was just his polite way of saying, hey, I'm coming, and I want to see what you're doing. And
Get
so
your
he
act
just
together
had-
or you're fired.
Can you start doing that? Because that would be fantastic.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, usually I'm whistling though, so
Yeah,
if you
it's
don't
so
know I'm
true.
coming, it's your
Yeah.
own fault. And then I saw the Marvel, the Shield, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I
Yes.
loved. I'm not gonna say anything about it other than it's great and you should watch it in September when it's out.
So you're not going to talk about the?
Nope.
Okay.
They
All right.
asked us not to. So I am going to be one of those people that plays by the rules. And then we also went and saw the Disneyland Hotel
Mhm.
History of with Jack
Don-
Rather organization.
Yeah,
And that
Don
was
Ballard.
yeah, that was hosted by Don Ballard, and I thought he did a phenomenal job. I really enjoyed seeing
Yeah.
the old pictures, the old videos in color, some of the stuff we've never seen before. And-
Did they talk about when it was struck by lightning and the elevator shafts disappeared and like it was a
In-
bustling Hollywood town?
That
in
was the one.
20s?
Oh man! And then we spent the day a lot going through Journey into Imagineering,
Journey
and
through Imagineering.
going through all of the different booths and stuff like that, and it was a good day. And then we went to Disneyland in the evening, and that was our.
And you were tired.
I was tired. Monday was
more tired than I've ever seen Mr. Daps, and I've seen him tired. But man,
It
you were
was
tired.
it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a brief recap of our weekend.
Things that happen off screen.
Yes. What was your highlight of the weekend? One moment.
Oh, one moment?
Uno momento. Por
Can I
favor.
say Saturday? Just, I think,
Saturday turned into one moment.
well, I think so. The first Buena Vista Street panel and then ending it with the concert. I
One
think,
moment.
I know, but I can't give. Check out those videos. That's all I've got to say. We're gonna have the Buena Vista Street panel, and the concert, the full
The
concert
concert's
up,
up.
or the concert's up.
The concert's
Check
up.
both of those out. I think just talented people
Mhm.
in one day. That was amazing. So to have that day of just talent was
That
amazing.
day
A
of
day of talent.
They should
That's
just, when they're doing the itinerary, it should just say the name of the
Day
event,
of
comma,
talent.
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 It's like, who's presenting this? Talent.
Would you like to see talent?
So what would you like to see out of 2015? Because the next D23 Expo has been announced, 2015. For me,
They're skipping a year?
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Weird. Okay.
I know.
Okay, what do you want to see?
Can I also name two things that are sort of just together?
You
You
don't
just can't
understand
do
how
questions,
work,
can
do
you?
you?
But go ahead.
I can't count.
Go ahead.
More Marvel in Star Wars.
So
Combine them into one event called
can I-
Starvel.
I would
Marvel
like to
Wars?
see. I would like to see something new and newsworthy. I really enjoyed geeking out to all this stuff, but at the end of the day, there wasn't anything like newsworthy out of it.
No
and I
new
would have,
news.
I would
Yeah.
have liked to have seen something new come out of this, where we could have been really reporting on something as opposed to just reporting about something. And so I would
a
have.
little change of preposition there.
Yes.
Got it.
I would have liked to heard something, even if it was about the Star Wars TV show or cartoon show or anything
Is
Marvel
that the
related.
Ewok thing? They're gonna do an Ewok cartoon?
Sure.
Didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, they did one.
Mm-hmm.
They did. Yeah.
Little
Yub
Crawly.
Yub the musical.
Yeah.
I heard you were writing it.
It's a glorious 3-hour finale.
You got a minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Yeah, so I'd like to see something newsworthy, a little bit more, maybe a Q&A panel where we actually get to ask questions as opposed to just get talked at. I think that would be pretty cool too. And really make it something that every fan walks out totally blown away. Just this was great, but I think it could be even, it's Disney for crying
Bigger.
out loud.
Yeah.
They have the best talent in
Yeah.
the world. Throw it at us, blow us out of the water, and make everybody wish they hadn't gone. And it would help wish they had gone.
Okay. Man, I wish I hadn't have gone. They gave me too much good stuff.
I think it's like they wish they hadn't have gone because like their head is blown up. or
Yeah,
something.
but
Yeah.
but I think that would also, for all of us covering it too, then there's absolutely no way you can go to everything at this, correct?
Correct,
You
yes.
cannot hit
Oh, yeah,
everything.
no.
And then it gives websites that do cover everything the opportunity to share for you who went to this, you who went to that, and you don't have to just hear about it secondhand. So that's what I would change if I were in charge. You guys got any other last comments?
Just what
Mr.
popped into my head is I kind of want to see Spider-Man save Luke Skywalker. Just,
Well, we
I
did
don't
see
know
a
why.
No, it wasn't Spider-Man. Never mind.
It was
It
the
was
Waffleinator?
the Avengers and
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb
Yeah.
came together for the Waffleinator.
I-
Which
What?
I might
Actually,
not
yeah,
miss
the
that.
Waffleinator.
that
You
might
got to
have
do
been
that. I
that
didn't
might have
get
been
to.
the highlight of my weekend, just because I walked up on Friday morning and I didn't really have any information about where to go or anything. That just didn't get to
you
us.
got waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I walked up and I talked to this guy in the red shirt and I'm like, I'm impressed and I have no clue where to go. Where do I go? And he's like, oh, you're supposed to be eating waffles and drinking coffee right now. I'm like, sign me? Oh, I am signed
Such
up.
a hard life.
I know.
I-
It was,
And you get to
I really
shoot
wish you hadn't
waffles
been
too,
there.
right?
I didn't do that, but
Wait, what?
I could have shot
You can shoot
waffles,
waffles.
at Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been
I
cool.
wish that video would have
But-
floated all the way so I could have watched
Bury the
it.
platypus.
It's fun.
Bury
that
the
was-
platypus.
There we go.
That's my antenna ball.
Any other? None? Yeah, you got it. You good?
I think.
What would you like to see? You said what you want to see.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I keep
What would
going.
you like to see at the next D23?
Me.
Okay.
I would like to be
You
at
would
the
like
next
to
20
see
D20
Johnny
D20.
5 at the next D23 comments. And
Or
we'd like
not
to hear
comment
any
also.
question we've asked, comments on that one
You
for
gave
your
me that
responses
towel.
to.
And now you're
And
knocking off the couch.
I will pick it up for you.
I-
And if you love this towel, you can have it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's about all the time we have this week. Do you know where that's been? We'll see you around the corner.
Geek out.
I recently discovered the tale of how Christopher Columbus on the Mayflower brought over bunnies to the New World.
What's the lesson you'd like to teach the world the most?
How to love and embrace the potato.